you're frustrated. You know, we kind of went through that a little bit. You're frustrated. You got all this greatness going on with you, but then you get to that intimate side of the relationship, it's not there, and then you're frustrated. I know I was. I'm not gonna deny that. You know, I was frustrated, and I felt like I was the burden. You know, it wasn't her problem. She didn't have to. When she found out what was going on with the cancer, she could have left. She could. Met her some guy that was much healthier, because I've never had health problems, not major. This was a major. My name is Tony. I'm a veteran, and I'm 63 years old.
I'm Cece. I'm 61 years old. I'm in the health and wellness business, and we've been together 7 years and married for 5 years.
Cece and I were married October of 2018, actually. The following month, I was diagnosed with prostate cancer. It wasn't quite a stage yet. It was just the beginning of it.
When he called me, the first thing was prayer. And I told him, I said, you know, I got you. We got this. So
my doctor went over the different procedures to go with, and he laid out all three of them, actually. And I never forget, I said, which one do you think? He said, I cannot make that decision for you. So I have to leave that one up to you guys. And we turned to each other after he had broken them all down. I looked at Cece and she said, we're gonna remove. I said, exactly. And that's how we came up with the removal. The doctor broke down the possibility of having erectile dysfunction. We won't know until we finish the surgery that where you might be. He said it might not affect you that much, but it might. But if it does, we will have that covered. And we looked at each other, and Cece actually said it. You know, we're not going to worry about that. We want to get this cancer out of here, and we'll cross that when we get to it. The doctor had mentioned that you're going to probably have some leakage, but we won't know until after the surgery. And he said, I know you're nervous, Tony. I know you're very nervous. Mm-hmm. He said, but trust me, we got you. Had the surgery, everything he said we was gonna go through, I went through it. I had to go back to see him 6 weeks later. Cancer, my PSA came up 0. After prostate surgery, we wanted to figure out where I was with erectile dysfunction. So my doctor at the time, he put me on Viagra. I took it every day like a vitamin. That did not work. Then we went up to see Ellis. Same situation. And he said, well, let's try it with a pump. So I went out and bought this expensive pump at a store that I normally don't go in. We tried that. Some success, but just some, not enough to say it fixed all. Then the next thing he recommended was the Penile shot. I hate shots. I still hate them to this day. And where I had to use the shot at, that didn't help at all. So that didn't last long.
Yeah, it was a hot minute. And just through all of it, the Viagra, the Cialis, the Penile pump, there were times we were just like over it. I had a friend that at a young age that had an implant. So I went to Tony one night, and this was a night we had tried something and it just wasn't working. And I said, had you considered a penile implant? And so we talked about it, and it went from there.
And I said, we've tried everything else. Yeah. This is the last train out of Clarksville, so let's go for it. I started having leakage in my underwear. And I would wake up in the morning, I would notice drops in my underwear. Then throughout the day, it was drops. Or either after I used the bathroom, I'm like, why am I still, leaking? So we bought pads. Then before I knew it, I was going through 8 pads a day.
And he had warned us about the leakage, but we didn't know it was going to be that extreme.
Yeah.
It was a lifestyle change, I'll say. We were at a festival one time, and I looked down, and Tony had like a situation going on down there, and I was like, we gotta go. And so he was able to pull his shirt down enough for us to get to the car. That was a little frustrating. But we did what we had to do. The thing is, we just stuck together and worked through it.
We learned about the male sling when I went to see Dr. Shaw. He was very thorough when he went over my medical record, and he said, "I see that you have a leakage." He said, "I can fix that if you like." I said, "You can? Yeah, let's do this." And he brought it up. He brought out the sling, what it looks like, and he said, "While we're in there putting in the penile implant, we'll go ahead and put the sling in." I didn't even know that was possible.
Now that the penile implant is there, we're good. It's the best decision we've made. Yeah.
It brought my confidence back. It opened up a new energy that I didn't think that I could have at this age. The male sling, it was a game changer. It put me back to a normal life, and to be in my 60s, no, I'm not 20, but I'm pretty close to it after getting everything fixed. I don't have any more restrictions. I'm not gonna say I'm gonna run the Boston Marathon, but
you got that pep in your step.
Yeah. It brought that back.
Brought that pep back. For the partner, I would really advise to just have the conversation. We can sit up and talk about pretty much everything, but when it comes to our sexual life or our intimacy, we don't have that conversation. But just talk about it, make a decision together. Now we have a good time. We don't have to plan anything. So that's the part that we're enjoying now, embracing it.
For a relationship that started 7 years ago, and it started out with health problems that we didn't even know that I had, that we discovered after we got involved. I appreciate that you did not leave me. And that meant so much to me. Even the fact that we didn't even have a sex life for about the first 2 years, that meant a lot. So I knew when we did discover the doctors, urologists who turned us on to Coloplast, and you were still there, so I know we're gonna ride this till the wheels come off.
Till the wheels fall off.
And we're gonna live happily ever after.